Hi, I'm Marna, and we're going to do the January Long Distance Crafters video. And this month, we're going to be working with our 18-inch dolls. Doesn't matter what kind. Doesn't matter if you have a My Life As, an American Girl, Our Generation, and the list goes on and on. There's a lot of these. They're very pretty dolls, and I just love them. We're going to make a hat, a top, leggings, and boots. And you can, if you wanted to, have a pair of panties to boot. Okay, for your 18-inch doll clothes, you are going to need an 18-inch dolls that you can measure off of, in other words, without clothes on, and your packet. And inside your packet, you are going to have this orange roll. Set it to the side a minute. You're going to have one sock. Put it to the side for a minute. Your sock's going to look more like this. We're making tights for your 18-inch doll. And I bought these socks on clearance at Walmart. They are super stretchy. They are really nice. They're thick, really nice socks. But I only bought one pair because they had a bunch, and I thought, well, I'll make a pair and then I'll come back if it works. Well, it worked, but they didn't have the nice black ones. They only had the white, which is fine. That's going to work out just fine. So yours is going to look different, but that's all right. Okay, so what we're going to do to make these and have a little left over for other dolls, you can make Barbie clothes or even shirts and tops, hats for your 18-inch doll. Take your sock and lay your doll on it. And however high you want her tights to come, lay her there. Go to the bottom of her feet and roll your tight up. And you don't want to stretch it, just have it there. And then cut that where her toe comes out. Just cut that right across. After you cut that, take your doll and move her off of the sock. And then cut the sock right in half. You'll have your sock turned inside out at that point, and then stitch across one side and then all the way up to the crouch. Reinforce your crouch. That is, put small stitches in plus stitches and then come back down the other side. I took the top of the sock and I made her a tube top to go with the leggings. And what you could do with this piece is make her a pair of panties. Just cut the legs out. Very simply, you put that part towards the back. You can make these as short or long as you want. I'm going to leave them long for right now. Start just at the toe seam and just cut out for the legs. And you have underwear, a top, and leggings for your doll out of one sock. For those of you that did not get a pattern or a packet, this is just a tall pair of socks. I believe these were men's socks, but I can't remember for a fact. Got them on clearance at Walmart. This pattern that we're going to use for the ski cap is taken from a party hat. And what you will need is a hat that goes around the brow of your doll. And you can make these out of a cone. You can use a dinner plate to make your pattern. But I'll tell you, these party hats really come in handy for patterns. After you cut out your pattern for your ski cap, pin it or draw around it with an ink pen on your orange fleece. And this is going to be a ski cap for your doll. These were very popular in the late 60s, or I guess the 70s. These were popular. We had them, and some of them were really long. The cone part would go down your back, and you'd wrap that around your neck like a scarf. When you get this pin, cut out your hat, but save this fabric. Then cut a strip, you'll have a piece of black fleece in your packet. Cut a piece for the band, however wide you want it. You don't want it real wide, but you know, you might want it a 1/2 inch or so. And then save the rest, because what we're going to do with the rest of this fleece and this little part of orange, if you have it, if you don't, it's not a big deal. You can just do black, is make the pom-pom for the top of the hat. Okay, so I cut out my hat and I cut out some pieces of fleece to make the pom-pom. You don't need them this long. This will probably make 2, because you will fold that over, and they on the top of the hat, you don't want them huge. So I'm going to cut these in half, and then what we'll do is we'll tie it off here. But I wanted to show you something that you could also do for your pom-poms, and that is cut your fleece and then pull it. Oh, this doesn't pull like the other. Some of the fleeces, if you pull, I bet if I do it the other direction. Let me try it. Some of the fleece, yeah, there we go, will actually curl, and it makes kind of a cute texture if you wanted that on the top of your hat. Okay, I have cut my pieces for my pom-pom about 4.5 inches. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter, you can do anything you want for your own pom-pom. You can make it as thick as you want or as skinny as you want. One thing you might want to do is make it longer than you think you need and cut it off after. Once you have a little pile, I kind of move these around, kind of shuffle them around so that the colors were mixed, but you don't have to do that. And I tried to keep them kind of equal. Then I took a longer piece of black, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie these off like you do a pom-pom, as tight as I possibly can. And then I'm going to put a knot in and shake it and make it into a pom-pom. I'm going to trim these pieces from my tie to match the rest, and then I'm going to hand sew that with orange thread on top of my hat. When you get your pom-pom on, give it a shake, and it's ready to go on your doll's head. Now you have this. You could make Barbie a hat simply by rounding out the corner here, sewing that shut, adding a little bit of trim just like that. This could be a hat, or you could actually make Barbie a full outfit with what's left of this fleece. You're going to have silver vinyl, brown vinyl or black, and a piece of Velcro. And what you need to do first is take your silver and black vinyl and cut out the pieces that I have sent you. Cut them out, or that I have drawn around. Cut them out slow, because every millimeter counts. We're going to make boots out of this. Your Velcro, cut in half. You're going to use one for the left boot, one for the right boot. Okay, there's a few things about the boots you need to know. 1, they are not hard. 2, they are very confusing, and it takes a lot of thought as you're going. I have trouble every time I do it, and I've made these several times. One of the things you should know is you can take this pattern on a piece of paper and draw this out. When you cut out, what you need to remember is to flip your pattern over when you make the other boot. Another thing is these 2 pieces will make a shoe for your 18-inch doll. So make yourself a pattern and begin. Okay, here's how you find your right from your left. First thing you do, cut your Velcro in half. You're going to need a piece for each side. You will see on your sole cutout that there is a larger size on one side and kind of a divot for the arch of the foot. On that side where the toe is out this way, the longer side of the back of your boot. This will be the upper part of your boot. And the longer side of your toe piece. The longer side goes on the piece that has the big toe area. Okay? So that's how you divide that up. And the first thing you do is sew the Velcro to your upper. And you want the hard side of your Velcro. Let me tear that apart. It's always the soft side towards your doll, the hard side away from the doll. This will come around, so the short side of the upper gets the hard part of the Velcro. Now when this comes around, it closes like this. So on the back side of your upper, you will sew your Velcro down. It's the first thing you do. Which side do you start at the top? This is the part right here that goes on the toe of your shoe. This will get sewn starting here and go around, okay? So when that comes around, the longer side will have the hard part of the Velcro on the bottom. And you want this Velcro up to the top of your boot top because this will allow for your seam allowance.
Is that hard part in your hand right there?
This is the hard part.
You have it on the inside.
Oh, you are right. You are right. It goes on the outside away from the doll. Thank you, Darren. All right, the first thing you do with these two pieces is put right sides together, and I start in the middle, and I take a little seam over to this side and a little seam over that side. Now, you will have about that much left over, as you should, because that is where you put the back seam in your boot. And you'll put that seam in before or after you add your sole. The first thing you do is sew your upper to the boot leg. And it looks odd. You're sewing the V in the air. And it looks really odd when you do it, but that's what you do. Do not put the back seam in till after you sew your sole to the bottom. Once you get your doll boot sewn, just trim away, not too close to the seam, but trim away the extra so that when you turn this inside out, especially in the toe area, it's not too tight. And then just turn it inside out. Something else you could do with your boot, which I did not do and probably should have, you can take some of that leftover fleece from the hat and put that around this top for a trim. Doesn't her hat remind you of the pirate hats? Darren was saying we need to find some striped fabric and make some of these for little pirate outfits. But here she is, all finished out, her little boots. I love this. I love these 18-inch dolls. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, a like, and subscribe.